Kelsey Plum strikes again.
Just united front was determined this morning that we had a meeting for, and not to tattletale, but 0 members of Team Clark were very present for that. But no, we were just we had a very that really needed to be mentioned.
That was ridiculous. That was childish, and Sabrina had to let it be known. I don't really think that was necessary. She trying to laugh it off, but Sabrina's not feeling you saying.
Sabrina Ionescu's eye roll may go down as one of the most iconic and revealing moments in WNBA history. During the 2025 All-Star Game press conference, what was supposed to be a celebration of the league quickly spiraled out of control when Kelsey Plum unexpectedly criticized Team Caitlin Clark for not showing up to the players-only Saturday morning meeting where they had planned the now-viral shirt demonstration. According to Plum, none of Clark's teammates seemed engaged during that planning session. Sabrina Ionescu, sitting right beside Plum, reacted swiftly and visibly, although another player made an attempt to stop Plum from taking veiled shots. At Clark's team, Plum didn't seem to care. In response, Sabrina gave her a look of disbelief, raised her eyebrows, and rolled her eyes before delivering a perfectly timed sarcastic remark that really needed to be mentioned, drawing awkward laughter from the room. It was a subtle gesture, but it conveyed everything. If you support Caitlin and Sabrina, people have been commenting CC and Sab to show their support. Many felt that the entire situation exposed a deeper issue. Media training seems desperately needed for some players, as the moment felt completely unnecessary and unprofessional, especially considering the lackluster performance Team Plum had just delivered in the game. The tension in the room was undeniable. Sabrina's body language clearly showed she disapproved of Plum's remarks, especially given that Caitlin Clark wasn't even present at the press conference to defend herself. But what happened next is what truly set Clark apart from some of her peers. Rather than retaliate or feed into the drama, Clark waited and then delivered a calm, well-timed response that spoke louder than any reactive comment ever could. It was a move rooted in grace and maturity. Sabrina Ionescu, for her part, clearly wasn't amused by Plum's comments. You could see it on her face. She was stunned and seemingly thinking, "What did you just say?" And the fact that Kelsey Plum said this right in front of Sabrina, sitting next to her, made it even more brazen. It felt shameless and disrespectful. Many onlookers went as far as calling Plum's behavior trashy. Even personal details like her relationship with Darren Waller were dragged into the discussion, with critics pointing out that maybe he left for a reason. The All-Star Game was supposed to be about unity. After all the players had stood together in Indianapolis before tip-off, wearing shirts that read "Pay us what you owe us," signaling collective solidarity in the fight for better pay and working conditions. It was a bold, powerful message. Initially, fans and the media celebrated the gesture. It was refreshing to see players united for a cause, setting rivalries aside for the good of the league. Plum even spoke about how meaningful the moment felt, explaining that the protest had been coordinated during the morning meeting, but just moments later, she completely undercut that unity by calling out Clark's team for not attending the meeting, contradicting the spirit of togetherness they had just projected. The irony didn't go unnoticed. You can't claim to be unified and then publicly throw another team under the bus. You say you want to appear united, that you want the message of advocacy and solidarity to come through. But then you call out an entire group for being absent. How does that help because it just makes everyone look divided. Caitlin Clark stood with the group, wore the shirt, and supported the league despite not having to. And how is she rewarded? By being publicly criticized when she's the very reason the league has gained so much visibility and financial support. It's an obvious contradiction. Players are demanding higher pay, while simultaneously targeting the one player Caitlin Clark who's driven unprecedented viewership, attention, and revenue into the league. Sabrina's reaction didn't just steal the moment, it helped salvage it. Her dry sarcasm and discomfort reflected what many were likely thinking. Did Kelsey Plum really just say that? Sabrina realized her teammate had just created a public relations disaster. Everyone knows the league doesn't turn a profit, and that its financial hopes are pinned largely on Caitlin Clark. The league has only come close to breaking even because of her. Clark even advocated behind the scenes for higher pay last year and still faced backlash. She spoke out in support of black women and black athletes, especially black women basketball players, and yet her peers still found reasons to dislike her. The hostility she faces from within the league is undeniable. The truth is, many WNBA players don't like her, no matter what she does. Yet, it was Sabrina Ionescu who originally joined Team Clark, before Clark had to withdraw from the All-Star Game due to injury, making Plum's criticism even more personal. Sabrina clearly felt some loyalty to Clark, and wasn't about to let her teammates' remarks slide. Caitlin didn't need to participate in the shirt protest, but she did out of solidarity and goodwill. Instead of being appreciated for that, her entire team was discredited. That perfectly timed eye roll and measured response from Sabrina showed class. And in that moment, she displayed more maturity than the veterans sitting right next to her. Didn't take long for the wider basketball world to respond. Former NBA champion and longtime Michael Jordan teammate Stacey King didn't hold back, calling Plum's comments petty and unnecessary. When NBA veterans start weighing in on WNBA press conference drama, it's clear the moment struck a nerve. Many fans expressed outrage, saying the WNBA players who constantly attack Clark don't deserve the money they're asking for, argued that the league wouldn't even draw attention without her. The disrespect toward Clark is seen as baffling, given her immense contributions to the league's growth. Some fans even wished Clark would clap back, saying she's being too kind, doing too many favors, and trying too hard to support people who don't appreciate it. They called her critics ungrateful and accused them of biting the hand that feeds them. This isn't just noise from social media trolls. These are respected voices across the basketball world calling out a toxic dynamic, and it reveals the staggering reach Clark has built. The way she's being treated isn't just a WNBA issue anymore, it's a broader basketball issue. Every time moments like these go viral, players like Plum appear increasingly insecure and out of touch. Many fans wish Clark would just say, "I'm tired of the disrespect. I'm tired of the hate. Let's see you get those sponsorship deals and TV contracts without my presence, without my fan base, especially the fans you once labeled as racist." The irony is painful. WNBA players criticize Clark's fan base for being problematic, yet use those same viewership numbers to push for higher pay. From a business perspective, the situation is absurd. Even without playing, Clark's name alone packed the Gainbridge Fieldhouse in Indianapolis for the All-Star Game. But once her injury was announced, ticket prices dropped by more than 50%. That tells you everything. Fans aren't lining up to see players who disrespect the league's biggest star. They're here for Caitlin Clark. She gets hurt, and the value of the game collapses. Just like that. This isn't speculation. It's fact. The financial momentum the league is experiencing right now is because of Clark. When she plays or even when she's just associated with an event, television ratings soar, merchandise sales spike, and public interest skyrockets. She is the single biggest reason for the WNBA's current growth. That growth is what makes conversations about increased salaries possible. So when players wear shirts demanding "pay us what you owe us," but then turn around and trash the person responsible for bringing in the revenue, it's not just hypocritically, it's shocking to see players taking aim at the very person enabling them to ask for more. Relying on a single player to carry the financial burden of the entire league is risky. And if players keep alienating her, there's no telling what the future holds for the WNBA's popularity and long-term stability. But beyond the financials, this whole episode reveals something deeper and far more concerning: a culture problem within the league. A professional sports league can't grow or succeed if its athletes are more focused on personal drama and resentment than on elevating the game. Caitlin Clark has done more to bring national attention to women's basketball than any player in recent memory. But instead of rallying behind her, some players seem more interested in stirring conflict, often targeting Clark for reasons that defy logic and common business sense. The calm, composed way Clark has handled all of this, even as veteran players act like cliqué high schoolers, highlights a stark contrast in professionalism. It's becoming more and more obvious who's truly helping the league move forward, and who's holding it back by throwing stones from the sidelines. Let's be honest about what we're seeing.